Welcome to Unlock E-commerce with Shopify, Microsoft, and Vertex, your gateway to transforming digital commerce into a streamlined, scalable, and tax-compliant powerhouse. In today's fast-paced retail landscape, success hinges on more than just having an online store. It's about integrating the right technologies to deliver seamless customer experiences, automate operations, and stay ahead of compliance challenges. That's where Shopify, Microsoft, and Vertex come together, bringing you a powerful trifecta of e commerce, cloud, and tax automation. During the webinar today, you're going to learn about how Shopify empowers merchants to build and grow their online store platforms, how Microsoft Cloud Solutions drive agility, data intelligence, and operational efficiency, and how Vertex simplifies tax complexity across jurisdictions and channels. So, whether you're a growing brand, an enterprise retailer, or a tech leader looking to optimize your e commerce stack, this session will equip you with the insights and tools to unlock new levels of performance and profitability. I'm really excited to welcome an outstanding lineup of speakers today who bring deep expertise and fresh perspectives for today's conversation. I'd love to welcome Pat Esposito, who is a seasoned leader in digital commerce and enterprise technology. With a background in helping organizations implement scalable e-commerce solutions, Pat will share how Microsoft's ecosystem empowers businesses to drive growth, improve efficiency, and stay compliant in rapidly changing markets. Pat leads our Microsoft line of business here at Vertex, and he's fantastic. So welcome, Pat. I'd also like to welcome Laura Moses, who's a partner manager here at Vertex, leading our e-commerce partnerships. Laura brings a wealth of knowledge in tax automation and compliance. Representing Vertex, she'll unpack the complexities of managing tax across multiple jurisdictions and platforms and show how integrations can turn major pain points into strategic advantages. I'm Erin Kissling, Director of Strategic Partnership Development here at Vertex. I'll steer the discussion today, surface some key insights, and make sure your questions will get the spotlight that they deserve. But I'm super excited to really have a packed panel here today to walk us through the power of Shopify, Vertex, and Microsoft. So for today's agenda, it is packed with practical insights and real-world strategies designed to help you immediately action steps towards optimizing your e-commerce operations. We're going to go through an overview about Vertex, Shopify, and Microsoft, which will be led by our speakers today. Pat is going to walk us through a really fantastic customer story. This customer was able to leverage all three technologies that we're talking about today. We will do a panel discussion, really talking about our historical partnerships with Shopify and Microsoft. And then we will wrap up with our key takeaways and have time for Q&A at the end. So please, if you can, enter your questions into the chat. We will make sure that we get those answered. And if not, we can answer those as a follow-up. So our learning objectives for today, we're going to define best practices and insights for an omni-channel environment. So you might have Microsoft on your back end, e-commerce for your e-commerce channels. How can we bring those together to provide tax visibility and provide a seamless experience? We're also going to define the benefits of connecting your Vertex tax solution portfolio to Microsoft and Shopify. All right, so to kick it off, let's really dive into what makes this integration between Shopify, Microsoft, and Vertex so powerful and why it's truly a game changer for modern e-commerce. So imagine a seamless e-commerce where every single part of your business is connected, from the moment a customer clicks buy to the final reconciliation in your financial systems. That's exactly what this trio delivers. Shopify is going to take the lead on the customer-facing transactions where they're actually checking out on a digital storefront. Microsoft steps in behind the scenes, managing all of your back office processes. So from inventory and order management to financial reporting and analytics, Microsoft Cloud Solutions ensure that your operations are running smoothly and intelligently. And then Vertex ties it all together by automating the tax compliance across both of those platforms and channels. So no more manual calculations, No more jurisdictional guesswork, just that accurate real-time tax handling that scales with your business as you grow. So together, this integration is really going to help eliminate some of those silos. So whether it's data flows or cart to cash, you're going to be able to really reduce errors, improve visibility, and empower your teams to make faster, smarter decisions. So your company can really focus on growing while Vertex, Shopify, and Microsoft are able to support you from a visibility perspective. I am going to now pass it over to Pat to talk through our Vertex O Series architecture.
Thanks, Erin, and thanks for having me. So the Vertex O Series architecture and the image that we're looking at here is really showing a very high level layout of where Microsoft and Shopify plug in to a common piece of the Vertex integration. Later, we'll see a simplified version of this. And what's really important is to know that we are built on modern technology, that we're built to scale, that our SaaS product is hosted in hyperscalers. So we're able to meet your demands, whether it's on performance level or whether it's on functional level. We're also going to be able to make sure that your content, your information, your tax rules are updated consistently. And we're doing this as part of this online service that we're providing. So the Vertex O Series architecture is really more about a platform. It's not a product, it's about a platform to really help you solve your business case. As we go through today, we'll see more examples of where we're able to do that for you. Okay, when we look at indirect tax flow, there's a lot to it. I'm not going to drain this slide, but I think the important thing here is to realize that we're not just about tax calc, right? Calculating the right tax for your jurisdiction, incredibly important, but making sure that you file and that you are compliant and that your reconciliations are accurate is also really important. And for those who are transacting in Europe, where e-invoicing is becoming mandated more and more, 22 countries, I think, starting in January, really, really important that we can help you deliver that compliance part of your business. In the end, it's really those things that are driving your business and your need for a common tax solution. And when we look at Vertex unifying that tax and compliance story between Shopify and the Microsoft Business Central ERP, becomes really important because we have a consistent calculation, we have a consistent user experience, and we have a consistent way to really help you with your compliance needs. Okay, I'm going to turn it over to Laura.
And how the integration can create value for your business. So Shopify is a unified cloud-based platform that allows merchants to sell anywhere, online, in-store, mobile, social channels, or marketplaces. And Shopify's goal is to give merchants a place to manage their entire e-commerce strategy across all customer touchpoints. Vertex is the first official Shopify tax platform partner, and we specialize in global tax automation. Our solution helps you manage complex indirect taxes like sales tax, VAT, GST, and you can do it seamlessly with Shopify and Microsoft. We're built to handle everything from high volume transactions to advanced taxability logic so you can scale confidently. Together, Vertex, Shopify, and Microsoft can enable merchants to transact globally with confidence, addressing unique complexities of selling across multiple global tax jurisdictions and in niche categories with a service that's flexible enough to grow. So Shopify is designed for merchants of all sizes. One of the biggest advantages of Shopify is the strength of its ecosystem. It's not just about the number of integrations, but the depth. Shopify supports the full range of commerce experiences, whether you're selling B2C, B2B, across borders, or in-store. This flexibility allows businesses to plug in the solutions they need, scale as they grow, and keep innovating without having to re-platform. That's a real key point there. So you can start small and become very large and stay on the same platform for your e-commerce provider. Now I'm going to hand it back to Pat for a couple of slides on Microsoft.
Thank you, Laura.
You're welcome.
So when we look at the Microsoft contribution to the solution here, it is the Microsoft Dynamics 365 Business Central Shopify connector. And it literally is providing that connection between Shopify, Microsoft, Business Central. And what it's doing is providing a single cloud-based hosted platform, right, where you can connect multiple stores to Business Central and really maximize your productivity. And to highlight some of the capabilities, and this is really important, it's a synchronization capability that allows you to synchronize your items and your products, your inventory levels, your customers and companies, all those things that you're managing on your back office process through your Business Central ERP are now able to be posted and synchronized into Shopify, saving you a lot of time, a lot of energy in having to maintain two different systems. There's also some really interesting ability to track fulfillment information that was returned from Shopify. So you really have a 360 view of all your transactions and your customer experiences through your ERP system. And most of all, it integrates easily. It's baked into Business Central. For those who on the call who might be a Business Central admin, you've seen it in the admin console. So it's deeply integrated with Microsoft, as Vertex is also deeply integrated into both Business Central and Shopify. When we look at a high level of what Vertex is doing with Microsoft, we are supporting many of the platforms that are part of the D365 ERP and sales or CRM part of their business. But beyond this, we're also leveraging agentic and low-code solutions that are helping us bring more value to the platform as well. Within this, we are taking the same advantage as Laura mentioned of the capabilities that Vertex brings. We're also getting those in the ERP system, which will help you again with reconciliation and being able to get that full view of what you're doing with your transactions and your commerce platform with Shopify. Back to you, Laura.
Thanks, Pat. So this slide really captures the core of our partnership, making global selling seamless and worry-free. Vertex is built directly into Shopify, so you don't have to manage tax separately. The solution is flexible, and it works just as well for a growing merchant as it does for a global enterprise. It streamlines tax and compliance for B2C and B2B, no matter who you're selling to. Vertex automates that process in the background, and it takes that manual work off your plate and reduces the risk for errors. So this includes support for U.S. sales tax, seller's use tax, as well as global tax types like VAT and GST, which is critical for merchants who are expanding internationally. So with Vertex, you can cross borders confidently without needing to be a tax expert. And finally, the solution's built to scale. So as your transaction volume grows, Vertex and Shopify and Microsoft can all grow with you, processing large volumes of transactions quickly and accurately without slowing down at checkout or impacting customer experiences. So Vertex delivers key benefits for Shopify merchants. So we're going to improve global tax accuracy with our precise automated calculations that we've talked about before for sales tax, VAT, GST, and others. We simplify cross-border compliance by automating rules and currency conversions, making international expansion far less complex. Our integration unifies the experience across all systems, eliminating manual data entry and ensuring consistent tax across all platforms. We're going to streamline filing and remittance, and we're going to ease that burden on your tax, your finance, and sometimes your IT team as well. So at the same time, we're going to enhance your customer experience with the real-time tax calculations, transparent in their checkout. So in short, Vertex, Shopify, and Microsoft together allow you to scale and expand globally with confidence. So this slide is going to show you how Shopify, Vertex, and Microsoft Dynamics 365 connect for tax determination. So on the left, Shopify captures the financial events like orders, edits, quotes, shipping, and invoices. And those details flow into the Vertex integration, which passes the transaction data to Vertex. And then Vertex applies the correct tax based on content and logic, location, product type, all those things that we're doing for you in the back end. And then we're going to calculate the exact tax. And then that amount is sent straight back to Shopify in real time. So for companies who also use Dynamics 365, we're going to sync items like inventory, customers, and company data through Microsoft Shopify connector. Because Vertex connects there as well, which is going to keep all your systems in sync. So the key takeaway here is that this integration, or these three integrations, are going to eliminate manual processes, ensure accuracy, and that every transaction across Shopify, Vertex, and Dynamics is working seamlessly together. Back over to you, Pat.
Okay, so let's talk about a customer experience. And it's really a great story. So we won't be naming names, but a specialized product supplier in the US, mid-market customer, who's really seeing their business expand from retail stores, expanding more physical stores over the next year, and their categories and inventory volume just growing exponentially, more and more product to be sold. And so they really needed a solution that would scale. They needed a solution that would allow them to grow without adding labor-intensive operations that they just really weren't going to be able to get the value out of their growth if they had to make those investments. Some of the primary sales channels that they were involved in was direct-to-consumer through the e-commerce store, but also B2B, sometimes through the store, sometimes direct through their ERP and sales transactions. So this was a reason why they needed that integration between their ERP, Business Central, and Shopify. It's giving them the ability to work in both the direct-to-consumer and different ways to engage with their B2B customers. The tech stack, Shopify Plus, and that was for their online store. The ERP, Microsoft Business Central with the Shopify connector. Their tax tech provided by Vertex. So we, in this particular case, are doing their calculations and ensuring their compliance to make sure that they are meeting the jurisdictional requirements for all the areas where they conduct commerce. In addition, they use the Microsoft POS system for Shopify, which is really the point of sale system, and that was also integrated into the Business Central experience in the background. So lots of moving parts. Sounds complicated when I describe it, but it created a very seamless experience that actually simplified their operation because these different platforms are designed to work together. The pain points that we started with were really looking to, replace an existing tax engine and a solution that just didn't integrate with the platforms, right? It was taking time, it was tedious, there was a lot of manual effort to try to maintain and almost force it into this more complex environment. They were unable to facilitate indirect tax compliance with the parent company, so they really couldn't get that reconciliation working the way that they needed it to. And there's also unable to account and process, the marketplace, which is something that they couldn't do at their present state. They also were treating taxes, everything was taxable, maybe an exemption based on customer, but not based on product or tax rules. So they were really not operating at an efficient level in terms of minimizing their tax obligations. Additionally, they were having difficulties managing sales tax on freight charges, which required a lot of manual intervention. And these were all top concerns for them. They wanted to streamline, they wanted to become more productive, and they wanted to make sure they maintained compliance. So the breakthroughs that we had by putting the solution in that we've really been illustrating here is that we really created a unified business system, right? They're able to engage in commerce, transact seamlessly, and get the information across their different systems unified, right? When they pull a report in the ERP or look at the information in Shopify, it's going to be identical. They increased really sales efficiency because tax became less of a burden, and they really were able to increase tremendously the actionable insights by pulling in the integrated information both from Dynamics and from Shopify and being able to leverage that in their business decision making. In the end, what they've really come to recognize is that they've got a platform that's built on trusted vendors, powered by innovation, and really their ability to transform commerce and now continue to grow. So exciting breakthroughs for this customer. Okay, back to Erin.
Thanks, Pat. I love seeing the real life examples. I think that just gives so much color to what we're talking about today. So I want to take a little bit of time. Pat, Laura, you just went through so much great information. I want to talk a little bit about our partnerships with Shopify and Microsoft. Laura, would love to hear the history of the Vertex relationship with Shopify.
Yeah, so we are closing in on our 2-year mark of publicly becoming partners. We've been partners working together for about a year prior to that. And it's been really exciting to see how our joint merchants are leveraging Vertex and Shopify together. We've seen a myriad of types of customers, your classic retail with brick and mortar. We've seen B2B, lots and lots of enterprise customers, as well as SMB customers as well. So it's been exciting to see how all these different types of merchants are using e-commerce and then needing, a reliable tax partner to make sure they're keeping everything on the back end buttoned up for their tax calculations.
That's fantastic. That's a lot of growth in a short amount of time. So kudos to you. Pat, would love to hear on similarly to Microsoft, what's been our history with Microsoft? How are we currently working with them?
Our history has been multifaceted, and it's been going for over a decade. We are a Microsoft customer, as all of you are. Microsoft's our customer, but we are also a Microsoft partner. And we've been engaged in strategic development with Microsoft, helping them advance some of the capabilities within their platform, working with them on agentic AI solutions that we'll be hearing about shortly, and just really ramping up the partnership to bring more value to our customers. We are also able to learn from Microsoft because of the experiences that they've shared with us in how they operate their business, which is quite large. And that ability that we've learned, plus the decades that we've supported large enterprise, all that capability has really come down into the offers that we're bringing into the mid and mid-market customers. And so lots of years of experience, lots of years of capability, and just growing our partnership day over day.
That's fantastic. That is fantastic. So we've gone through a lot of content about our integrations, how Microsoft, Shopify, and Vertex work together. Just learned a lot of the history of how we're working with these partners in the market to date. So want to transition a little bit just to go through some best practices when you're using multi-connectors. We want to make sure that you reevaluate the technology workflow periodically. As products are updated, look for new ways to automate. Also, you want to make sure that you look for those opportunities in specific geographic locations, such as EMEA, APAC, etc., that would benefit. And lastly, bring tax to the table early in requirements and design related to systems. It is so key, whether we're talking specifically about Microsoft or about Shopify with e-commerce. It's super important to bring that tax discussion to the table early. So some operational efficiencies when using multi-connections to Vertex as well. Applying Vertex Cloud in our front end ensures sales tax consistency. Streamline compliance reporting to reflect the entire business with corporate HQ. Applying flex fields to accommodate our diverse business needs. Standardizing the naming for customers and items in all systems that call Vertex. Use order channels to flex fields to quickly identify details that orders for each system, and provide and expand subsidiary details in reporting to help identify business sales. So this is pretty technical, right? We're talking about multi-connectors when we're talking about Vertex Cloud. So if anyone today wants to take a deeper dive into like the technical architecture, Pat touched on it a little bit. We're always willing to take that as a follow-up if we want to get a little more in the weeds around how the integrations work. So, wrapping up here, some key takeaways. Evaluate the integration between systems that we'll call Vertex. Look for opportunities to automate and reduce risk, and bring tax to the table early in requirements and design. We are running up on time here. There was one question that did come in the chat we want to make sure that we do address. It looks like they are asking, I am a Vertex customer and I have just replatformed my e-commerce system to Shopify. Who should I reach out to? Laura, would you like to take that one?
Yeah, you can check on the follow-up notes in the console to identify who you can work with, and we'll get you connected to the right person.
Perfect. Okay. Fantastic. If there are any other questions today, or if we didn't get to yours in the chat, we can take those as a follow-up. The slides and the recording will be sent as well. But huge thank you to our panelists today, Pat and Laura. You were fantastic. Thank you for taking the time. And thank you all for attending today.